Now, how does it feel to speak truth to the powers that?
It's exciting. It's also important for any journalist or editor in a country like ours to speak honestly, fearlessly, and to use one's media platform and one's journalism skills to report stories that governments and the powers that we don't want to be reported. So obviously when you do that, you will annoy them, you will irritate them, you will anger them, and they will take steps to act against you. So part of the process of speaking truth to power is also being aware of the risks that are involved, but to have the determination and also the conviction that what we are doing is the right thing, to stick to this path.
Worth taking all the risks.
Journalists have no other option really, because people in this country have an expectation from the media that we will report objectively, honestly, fearlessly, and focus on issues that really bother people. And obviously government misdeeds, conflicts of interest, the possibility of corruption, the misuse of power, when people in authority use their political positions to divide people on religious grounds, on communal grounds, when they instigate violence, when they incite hatred. It's essential that the media be there to point this out, to report what they're doing, and also to provide a platform for discussion so that people can understand what is happening. And so we really have no choice, and I think readers and viewers expect it, and we need to give it to them.
There are some people who say the language used by the journalist in whatever writer they do could be the trigger for violent actions. You think it's the language that they use or the content? Which in this is more fear in the...
You see, it depends what's being covered. If there is a communal conflict of some kind, I think journalists need to cover it with sensitivity. They need to cover it objectively in a balanced way, to be honest and truthful, but also to make sure that nothing that one reports is factually inaccurate or is likely to inflame a situation further. By and large, the policy that we follow, that I have always followed, is that it never hurts to be truthful. And of course, how you present the truth is important. The truth must be presented in a way that is verifiable by people. So if one is reporting facts about a particular incident, you need to present to readers exactly how you as a journalist came to know those facts and how you are convinced that they are correct, and to write in a way that does not inflame passions, does not inflame sentiment. So I think that reporters covering those kinds of stories have a responsibility. But the most important thing is to be bold and courageous in terms of identifying who are the guilty persons. Who are if the administration is not doing its job, if the police is shirking its responsibility, if you have politicians involved who are inciting violence. We've seen in 1984 in Delhi, or in 2002 in Gujarat, leaders of the ruling parties were involved in mobilizing mobs, in inciting violence. It is essential that as reporters we bring that truth to the readers. And if we don't do that, we are failing in our responsibility.
Social media played a major role in changing regimes in Egypt and parts of Europe. So you think social as well as the mainstream media in India will be able to play a similar role in the near future when the elections are coming?
I mean, regime change means different things in different countries. So in countries where there is no democratic process, social media and then of course action on the street becomes decisive, as in the case, say, of removal of Mubarak or the spring, the Arab Spring, for example. In India, social media is important as a means of communication, as a means of discussion, so that information that the big media sometimes hides or doesn't report can circulate among people. So for The Wire or for other new media startups, social media becomes a vital and important method of disseminating whatever journalism we do. It levels the playing field. It costs nothing to use, and if you have a good story, you have as much chance of it going viral and reaching maximum number of people as if you were a big player. So I think the focus on quality of journalism allows you to then make optimum use of social media. Of course, there are lots of bad people using social media too. So social media is used to spread disinformation, to spread hatred. We know that political parties have created bots, have created fake identities, and they try to use Twitter or Facebook to drive debates and discussions in a certain way. Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't. So social media can be a mixed blessing. On the whole, I think it has helped the cause of media freedom. It has helped people express themselves, and to that extent, I think it's a very positive tool in the elections. If social media is used by people to equip themselves to make informed choices, I think that would be great.
What's your message to the state?
Under Sugata's leadership and the kind of team that he's assembled and the kind of vision that they bring to have strong, independent digital media in Kannada, I think they have a great chance of filling a void, because there are initiatives that are at a national, so-called national level in English, but they tend to focus, if you're based in Delhi, you tend to focus on Delhi. If you're based in Bombay, you focus on Bombay. I think that the state of Karnataka and South India in general is the source of so many interesting stories, so many interesting developments, that we are very, really looking forward to the state establishing itself, breaking stories, covering things that we don't get to hear about from the mainstream media, and that eventually a lot of the content they put out would then be available in other languages, particularly English, so that readers across the country and even the world can share in the journalism that Sugata and his team will be putting out.